Sequel number 70. Sir Hesketh, the new governor of the Uganda Protectorate in 1906, arrives. We are going to see how he handles the sleeping sickness. Budo finally opens officially. We saw Budo opening earlier to accommodate the big boys of Mengo, but now officially Budo opens also. And we shall also briefly look at the new women's conference in the church, in the Native Anglican Church. Welcome. The author, Christopher Amos Chikomeko, celebrating the Church of Uganda at 150 years. We celebrate our history. We celebrate the state. The British Protectorate Commissioner, Colonel Hayes Sadler, returned home after a most stressing tenure of the sleeping sickness epidemic. He was an accomplished linguist, and in those few years, he had learnt Luganda language. He left when progress towards a drug to treat sleeping sickness was still ongoing. The new commissioner arrived in 1906, and his name was Sir Henry Hesketh Jodu Bell. He announced that his priorities were the fight against the sleeping sickness epidemic. He also said that he was interested in exhuming the remains of Mwanga II. Remember, we are in 1906. He's arriving, and on the program of the priorities include the exhuming of the remains of Mwanga II and return them for reburial in Buganda. He was a young man of 41 years. He had been born in France, and as a matter of fact, he was French. But there is this process we call the naturalization. When you go under naturalization, you change your citizenship. So he was naturalized into a British by his father, because his mother was a Scottish woman. Now, he started off as a civil servant administrator in the Caribbeans, and he served a stint in Ghana for almost 4 years. He did not officially marry, but he used to elope with women, including one Maria Nyamuhaibona, a Mutoro woman, and they had a half-caste son called John Bell. This time, he recognized the son. Hesketh Bell recognized his Mutoro woman's son. He did not beat about the bush about the son. Sir Hesketh Bell learned of how Apollo Kagwam and the governor who had left had cleared bushes along the lake shores, because these were the habitats of the tsetse flies, the vector of the bacteria which caused the disease that led people to sleeping sickness. He had, together with the protectorate government, asked people to evacuate from the islands of Lake Victoria to Budu and from Buvuma Islands to Chagwe. Apollo Kagwa used the experience he had gained earlier in ensuring that was possible. So by the end of 1905, before Hesketh Bell arrived, close to 200,000 people had perished due to the sleeping sickness epidemic in Uganda. Sir Hesketh Bell disagreed with a soft approach, evacuation, and he began forced evacuations. He banned fishing on Lake Victoria. He banned hunting by the natives and the collection of firewood along the lake shores. Yes, very tough governor, Sir Hesketh Bell. He would hear no nonsense. He was a man of action. And so the people were forced to evacuate. They were put into camps together with the sick because the sick were not contagious. The major camps were at Sentema, at Chetume, and at Busu. Safe passage corridors were created and all the evacuated homes destroyed to discourage the owners to return there. Remember, at that time, houses were more of mud houses and huts. So don't think of brick houses. Now, the hut tax was therefore suspended. Some 11,000 people who had refused to leave Buvuma Island were forced out and their homes burnt to the ground. By that time, Buvuma Island had lost 39,000 alone as Buvuma. Now that was a big and huge number. They had perished due to the disease. 12,000 had died of the same on Sese Island. The quarantined people in the camps moved only with issued permits, as they were not allowed to move. The good news was about the drug on trial, as people under test began to survive the infection. It therefore showed that a cure was on the way. And now, with the arrival of Hesketh Bell well tackled like that, let us now see what else was happening on the ground in as far as the church was concerned. The missionaries had their second conference in 1906. The missionary wives had a conference in 1906. Also, the single lady missionaries were allowed to participate. It was big as they gathered from across Uganda diocese. Now remember, Josephine, the wife of the bishop's wife, was permanently absent from Uganda. This enabled other lady leaders to emerge. We have already seen Eileen Weatherhead, the wife of the Budo headmaster, Budo King's School headmaster, became their leader. She presented a paper at the conference calling for the creation of a class of Christian mothers. The resolution was passed. Prominent ladies at the conference included Kate Cook, Miss Baxwell, the teacher, Allen, and another Allen Wilson, the wife of a priest. The interpretation of this document took some 2 years to mature. And as we shall see in future sequels, after those 2 years, the formal Mothers' Body was created. We call it now the Mothers' Union. But that will be in our future sequels. Today, we want to stop it at this because of a very important, very important topic in the next sequel, which requires separation from this one. May the good Lord bless us all.